Are here with Warped Tour founder Kevin Lyman, sitting in his lovely air-conditioned bus. You're celebrating the 15th anniversary of Warped Tour this year.
Yes, we are.
Could you maybe tell me a little bit about, think back about the first Warped Tour. How did this all get its start?
Well, I think you'd always have to kind of, I always reflect right now at 15, and it's like wherever I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like Colorado. All right, Colorado was the second Warped Tour stop in history. We played up in Boulder on the soccer fields. And we rolled in, and there was a promoter, Barry Fay, and someone else that was co-promoting the show. And they really kind of neglected the show. They didn't want to, like, they thought we weren't going to come, or if they ignored us.
Yeah.
So we showed up, because it wasn't really selling that much. People didn't quite get it. Even though we had bands like Sublime and L7, it was a pretty fresh idea. And they were trying to do something somewhat similar over at Fiddler's Green, with a skateboard ramp or something up there. So we showed up, I just remember, and it was like, there was no one to help set up anything, so we just started setting up everything ourselves. Kids started showing up, you know, getting ready, so we're like kind of lining them up. There was a few like college students helped to set everything up, and then I realized that at one point there was going to be no concession stands.
Oh man!
So we sent to the hardware store and bought a couple Weber barbecues and all the hot dogs we could buy, and sodas, and we were selling hot dogs and sodas for $1.
Oh man!
And the show lost money. Like the promoter, it was really like maybe 1,000 kids came. But we thought that was awesome. We sold them hot dogs and sodas. And at the end, he's like, "This show's bowl, whatever. I can't, you know." but I'm like, "Well, hey, thanks for the $3,000 bonus." And he starts screaming at me again. I'm like, no one showed up to sell hot dogs. We did it ourselves, and we made $3,000 extra today. Thanks a lot. But you know, a lot of stuff. You know, Adams County Fairgrounds, the great giant storms out there. When you know, Rancid would be on stage. Some of the state thing, you know, and then showing up here and kind of finding a home at Vesco Field. And many times people try to say, "Hey, move over here. Maybe you can make a little more money, or this might work." But doing it here, it seems to work great. The kids can get here easy enough. And we've had a good run in Denver. And then today, you know, it's like people write off the. You know, I always have to hear the Warped Tours. You know, people write the Warped Tour off. You read it online. This. But there's 19,000 people still came today. Not many shows can say they did 19,000 people in Denver this summer.
It's true. So in your time working with Warped Tour and sort of running all of that, you've had a chance to work with a lot of musicians, a lot of pretty big names, and a lot of up-and-coming names. What have been some of your favorites to work with over the years?
I mean, you know, it's fun that, you know, bands like NoFX and people that, you know, just me and Mike can still laugh and have a great time. I mean, that's a real bonding. So like you're gonna look back and you deal with a lot of people in this business, but you don't make a lot of, I think, lifelong friends. And I've made some lifelong friends, and I'd say Fat Mike being one of them. And then when I put together this 15th anniversary show that I'm doing September 6th in LA that we're filming and then we're going to be putting in movie theaters, people are like, "Oh, I don't know," and it just took me calling people and asking them, and they're like, "Yeah, I want to be there, I want to be there," and we put an amazing lineup together for that one-night show that'll be then in theaters all over the country 10 days later. So I think most of the friendships, and seeing people, you know. But now it's getting tougher because you show up and, you know, I've been doing this 28 years in the business, and you're showing up and you're seeing people get older, people dying, faces you recognize in cities that you look forward to seeing that aren't there anymore. Part of life.
So we've talked about where Warped Tour has been, who you've worked with. Where do you see it going in maybe the next 15 years?
I mean, that's really hard to say, but I mean, I don't think the Warped Tour needs to evolve, as I think it has evolved over time. It pays homage to the past. It embraces the future of music, or the relevant of music. It's not. I don't think I'm ever scared of trying anything out on those stages. And keep it simple. This tour has to be simple because it has to move every day. You know? I don't see it changing from a lot of those pop-up tents you see out there. It works, and the kids will let you know when they're tired of it, but we keep energizing with new kids. I mean, half the kids out there probably have not, this is their third or less Warped Tour. There's some old-timers that come back, especially in Denver. There's like people coming, "This is my 10th," which is awesome. That means it's still relevant to them. So I don't know where it evolves. I love doing it. Plus, I can't go get a job. I'm getting too old to go get a real job, so I'm gonna have to work my ass off on this and all my other projects to keep them going.
So we've heard a lot of various things. Sort of what drives you, but what would you say has been your inspiration over the years to just keep going and keep rocking at it?
Music. Just a thread in my heart. ultimately I love music, so I did this in the first place. I never wanted to be that person that became so burned out. That guy you go into a club and you go, why is this guy bumming my night out? You all know, everyone knows that guy. You're going, I love this band, I love it, and then some guy's like, get out, you know, and I'm battling, you know, sometimes at the shows, and I never wanted to be that, and I love music. I can still walk over and go see Reverend Peyton today and be stoked at 2:15 and go over and watch a little bit of the Bouncing Souls, because a lot of days I have to sit in this bus, even though it's really nice, but work all day long, you know, 9-10 hour days on the computer, because that's business. But it's still being great to have that business, to be able to walk out one day and just go, yesterday I was at Echo Movement, I watched this band, I just walked over and go, look at these guys. Oh yeah, I put them on from over, you know, I put them on because I like their stuff they sent me. I hadn't seen them live. They're a great band. So getting to do that, not a bad job. You know, not a bad job. We can get up. Tonight I get on the bus. Guy drives me to the next city.
Do it all again.
How nice is that? You know, and you're actually working with people that care. Every kid out there that's working in their tent, that's out there, it's a common thing. And we've lost that in America. A lot of people don't care anymore. But you put up this city every day, and everyone has to do their little part, or it doesn't work.
All right. Well, I think that's all the time I have. Do you have any last words? Anything people should know?
Still alive and kicking. Can't get rid of us yet, I don't think. You know, we'll keep trying. I mean, it's not cocky. It's not being cocky, but it's like, you know, I get a little, you know, I'm getting tired of people saying that, you know, you've screwed up punk rock, you've done this. I think we've given it an avenue. I mean, you know, in a lot of ways. I mean, next week on the West Coast we do our old school punk stage, and there's bands like the Addicts and Fear and Circle. They're bands that I worked with when I was in the clubs, and they didn't have something like this, and now they get to come back when they're 40, 50 years old and get to play for the young kids. The young kids probably wouldn't go see them in the club. A lot of them aren't touring anymore, but they can go see them, and you know, that shirt that you buy makes more sense when you know, when you actually got to see the band play.
Great. Well, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you guys. Thank you.